I'm Gary Ezell with Ezell Studios. I started this business when I was 40 years old. It's been a passion of mine. Photography was a passion and a hobby, and then I decided when I was 38 that I wanted to do something that I could be in control. The corporate world, I realized, was not the way I wanted to go, so I started the photography business, and like I said, it was my hobby, and just loved it. And my first desire was to be your family photographer. Just like you have a family doctor, a family dentist, I wanted to be your family photographer. And that seemed to go really, really well for a number of years, and business grew. It was slow and it was hard, but it did grow, and I realized that doing just families or just babies was not going to get me the income I needed, so I decided to go to school, go to the schools and try to do some business there. So I started with the cheerleaders and the football players at Rockdale, and then went to Heritage and to Salem, and did a lot of sporting events, giving the pictures to the people to get my name out. And then Heritage was the first school that I actually got. Greg Fowler gave me the opportunity to be the photographer for the school, and he didn't have a reason to do that, but he did, and I've been their photographer for 14 years now in Salem and the East Side still, and love it. But what I'm finding over the last 5 years or so is people with their little iPhones and people with their own little point and shoot cameras, they're appeased with what quality comes out of the cameras now, or their phones. They don't need or want that beautiful wall portrait to go up. And I've always been proud to, produce a good product. And of course, this one is outside, but I wanted to produce good products, something that was going to be around like my parents and my grandparents have beautiful pictures from 50, 60, 70 years ago. And I want people to have those memories now. They're going to go back 25 years from now and say, hey, look at this on my computer. The picture's not there. It's corrupt. They're not going to have these pictures that we now have, that I have from my family, from my heritage, you might say. So I hate the way that the photography field, the photography industry is going, but it's still my passion. It's still what I love to do. One of the things, we're having a yard sale today, and we're downsizing. We can't sustain the building that we have now, so we're downsizing to a smaller building, and in doing so I have run across hundreds, thousands of pictures of people that I'm thinking, oh, I wish their parents had these pictures. It's like all the football games that I go and shoot, and all the different events, we get some great pictures, and nowadays very, very few people. We may sell $20, $30 from a football game, where 10, 12 years ago, I would sell $400 or $500 worth of pictures from a ball game, but it just doesn't happen anymore. So anyway, I've been looking at these and saying, oh, I know her, oh, I remember. And I don't know more than one cheerleader most of the time on a team anymore, a football player, and I guarantee I could name you 6 of these kids right here, right now, even now, after all those years. But anyway, I have people that come in and do their senior pictures, or even family pictures, sometimes mostly seniors, that'll pay half their pictures, and I realize the economy is tough. And I guess one of the things I'd like to say here and now is, if we've taken your picture in the last 2 or 3 years, and if you only paid a portion of the and didn't have the money to pay the rest of it, I would like to talk to you. I'd like for you to get your pictures. I mean, yes, we're hurting a little bit financially too, but I'll help you with the pictures if it's something been done in the last couple of years. If it was done 5 years ago, yes, we still have some of those, but not all, so I can't make any promises. Anyway, the picture business is changing tremendously. There are lots of young little whippersnappers out there taking pictures, selling you a CD. I'm not going to say you get what you pay for, but they don't have to pay rent on a building. A lot of them have to pay taxes, or don't probably. So they don't have a big overhead. And I have an overhead, and so that's why our prices are a little bit different. But anyway, I think the big difference now between, say, 10, 12, 15 years ago and pictures today, people are looking, and I said this word a while ago, appeased. they're looking for price. They're not as interested in the quality of the picture or the amount of knowledge that goes into making the picture, whether the depth of field is good, where the front person in the picture is in focus and the back person's in focus. You know, if they see one or two people focused in the picture, they think the whole thing's in focus, and that's not necessary. So the quality of the picture now is not the number one thing. They always want different. You know, Olin Mills used to have the same kind of backdrops every year, and I didn't like that either. So that was one of my goals, is to have different backgrounds. And we did. We had 22 different backgrounds, and even into the building that we're moving into, we're going to have 11 or 12 different backgrounds, plus outdoor, which is what most people are going for now, is because the photographers nowadays don't have studio lights, they don't have the backdrops, so they're able to shoot outside and do a little bit better. But pricing seems to be the number one thing, and showing it to somebody on my iPhone instantly, sending it somewhere and showing it, not putting it up on their wall. So that's the big difference, I believe, between now and 10 or 15 years ago, is instantly seeing it or having it on a wall.